What is up, boys? We're gonna be back with another trade recap today. We're gonna start off on the 4-hour. Let me just open up my curtains real quick. I want some sunlight. Yeah. Yeah, that's nice. Okay. Boom. Magic. Alright, this is how I made $900 on a day. We had 2 break-evens, absolutely painful. And then we finally ended up with a dub, and we are done for the day now that we made our money. Got my piece of the pie, and I'm done. Alright, so let's start off on the 4-hour chart. Forget about everything past this candle right here, all this. We are expecting price to keep rejecting up out of this daily gap, but it did not. We actually ended up inversing back down through this 4-hour, which looked like a good spot for us to bounce back up off of and go back up towards all-time highs, but it looks like we might be trending a little bit lower for the next 2 days. It's okay that I didn't see this coming at the beginning of the day, but look, I'm still up on the day. I was wrong about my bias, but I'm still up on the day, and I'm going to explain to you why having a flexible bias and not being open-minded throughout the whole trading session can save you from taking a trade halfway through the session still married to your old bias that is obviously not true anymore. So, what happened pre-market? Pre-market, we kind of just danced around up here, generating liquidity. It looked like it was going to be an awesome day to sweep these lows, London and Asia lows, and fill that 4-hour gap and then go up. But we didn't do that. We kind of did the opposite. We came up, took the highs right here. These weren't sessional highs because the highs were already taken, but there is a 1-hour gap right here. Now that is significant. We showed really good rejection out of it. It wasn't the best rejection ever. We actually did get like a body closure in there, but there's not really a way that you could have caught in this whole move down. But as I saw us dump, I'm waiting to see which levels we react off of. I waited and looked for a trade as soon as we swept these levels, and as you can see, we go up here, we got a 3-minute inversion off of sweeping these 2 levels and 0.5 of the range. 3-minute inverse right here, and this ended up not playing out, but it's okay because, stay with me, it was a risk-free trade because I went break even at these internal highs. So that saved me from losing any money. I actually made like 10 bucks because I accidentally put my stop loss a little above my entry point, so when it came back down, it filled me for like $10. So we inversed right back through that. This was a good inverse right here. You could have entered on this right here. This would have been a good trade, but it doesn't align with my model. We didn't retrace to a gap. There was a gap like right here that ES filled, which is that. I don't even know if you guys can see that. But up in here, we didn't really retrace to a gap. So taking this inverse back down was definitely like a good play, but I didn't take it because of that. So we come all the way, after we keep dumping through these levels, we have now inversed this 1 hour, which is very bearish, because we're not going to come all the way back up through that, and we're inversing this 4-hour. We're not respecting it at all. We came down, hit this like kind of breaker block thing, and had no reaction off of it too. So I'm like, there's literally nothing else that's going to push us up. Let's look for shorts now. So I flipped my bias. I'm originally thinking we were going to go back up towards all-time highs, and now my bias switched to targeting like World War III lows or World War II lows, which is what I don't even know what I'm saying. who let me get on here. Anyways, what's the next most significant low that we have, or a gap? Let's look. We have this intermediate term low right here on the 1 hour, so we can mark that out. Boom. And then we have this one too. So we go down to here, and we're gonna watch what price does off of hitting these levels. Nothing happened off of really hitting this one, and it gets super close to this one, and then comes back up. This is what price does when it wants to engineer liquidity. This low right here, it obviously wants to be taken. It was neither taken on NQ nor ES. As you can see, this is the level right here that we're talking about, this red line. It gets super close to it and doesn't take it. In order to fill those orders, which are all clustered beneath this low, which where people's stop losses are, we need to take it. So the market wants to come down and get close to that, so people think we're ready to go back up. Even more orders can fill up, and then for it to come down and be able to sell its profits, whatever. That's just kind of how I think about it, like institutionally. Alright, so we are now coming up off of this level. We retrace into a 5-minute gap. That means we're ready to take a short. What the heck is this? Did I accidentally just like push this up here? Or was this supposed to be? Yeah, that was supposed to be right there. Alright, so this was the short position that I took. Entering on that candle closure, inverse down out of the 5-minute towards that low that we didn't sweep. Of course, I'm not going to run a negative risk to reward. So that right there is what happened today. Legit, if you measure it right here, let's see, 0.5 points away. 0.5. I saw that, bro, and I just wanted to get off low key, but luckily I stayed on because an even better setup presented itself, and I went risk off on this and decided to just run like a really high risk to reward and kind of de-risk, but at the same time target pretty far. So we came back up. I wanted to see us reject out of the 15-minute. We did that great. We also retraced to 0.5 of the range. Then come back down here. I saw that there was like the really like most high time frame gap of the leg that took us to the 15-minute gap would be this one. I didn't want to wait for that because I saw that we were like diddling around, and I knew that we were going to take these lows. One, because ES formed equal lows there, and we edged the old low. So we have this big breakdown like a CISD, and we react off of this 1 minute gap that I want to see inverse. So now that I see that it's going back up, this is like kind of like extra, but if you measure this out, I saw a rejection out of the range that we just made coming down to the gap that we want to inverse, and rejection out of the gap that was formed on the way down, and order block. So now I can go on a super low time frame and enter my short on this 30-second inverse when I'm looking for this gap to get inverse. Is it kind of risky? Yeah, because you're saying, all right, I am going to take a precautionary measure to find an indicator that's going to tell me that this gap is going to get inverse, so I can get in on it early. And then when the gap gets inversed, I can go break even, I can do whatever. I waited for this low to be taken before I went break even, and I got break even pretty quick. And then I took it all the way to the lows with 5 micros and made about $900. And my stop started off right here, risking like 200 or something. Yeah, risking like 200, and then I moved it down as we went down more. But this was just a banger trade. Yeah, so 2 break-evens and that 30-second inverse to finish the job. Super happy about today. I'm going to pass this account hopefully tomorrow. If not, I'll do it the next day. We need $275, and then we pass it. That's literally like half of one trade. One more green day, and we'll get that. And yeah, this is gonna be a really good week as long as Friday goes well, and even if it doesn't go well, I'll still be up on the week. Like, I'm not gonna blow through $2,700. Hopefully. Hope that trade recap helped you guys. Let me know if any of you guys took the same trades. Yeah, peace.